Hello, my name is Perez, and this is the reason why I want to teach. Ever since I was young, I have found myself enamored with the world of literature. Books provided me with an escape from ordinary life. Instead of being in a boring small town, I was going on adventures with goblins and ghouls, even helping Nancy Drew discover who the jewel thief was or who murdered Mrs. So-and-so. It was amazing. I couldn't get enough of it. Even when I was older, this love of stories and storytelling followed me. I became obsessed with YA novels, not because it was a form of escapism, but because now I could see myself in these characters. During such a confusing time in my life, it allowed me to feel seen. I wasn't alone because these characters were feeling the exact same things as me. When I went into high school, my favorite class was English. It came easy to me, and it gave me an excuse to show off if I'm being honest. I had never had any issues with these classes. They never challenged me. It was an easy A. That was until I had Miss Spellman my junior year. She was the first teacher to ever truly challenge me. English no longer was just a comfort, it was a challenge, and I loved it. Also, I'm not sure if it's weird to put her picture here, but I want to recognize the woman who first initiated my love for close reading and analysis. I wouldn't be here without her. I loved that it was harder to pass a class because it made the class that much more rewarding. She was insistent on analyzing the text through close readings. As someone who had been reading for fun up to that point, it was like viewing reading from a whole new angle. It was invigorating. I loved investigating all the different interpretations and theories one can get from a text. This was the first instance where I could imagine myself in front of a classroom igniting the same fire she ignited in me. Right then, I vowed to share my love of reading with a new generation in my own classroom. But, as most teenagers often do, I lost motivation. Where I once had ambitions of going to university, those were steadily replaced by practical goals. A job and a high school degree. I wasn't even planning to go to community college, but through the hard work of some counselors at Tulare Western, they convinced me and my parents to not waste my potential. I was a good student with a good GPA, and most likely I would get scholarships in order to cover my tuition. So the decision was made. I was to go to university, and the one I ended up going to was Fresno State. I was still highly unmotivated. COVID had robbed me of my freshman year. My sophomore year consisted of doubts of whether or not I even belong in academia. I was on the verge of dropping out after my first semester of sophomore year, but then I had a professor by the name of Michael David Kuntz. He was every bit as pretentious as his profile picture shows. He could be abrasive and blunt, but he was never condescending. His class was the one reason I even showed up on campus. The way he spoke about literature and the way he delved into analysis was like watching a magician do trick after trick. It takes you aback and enraptures your attention where all you can do is wonder how. How does he do that? With this newfound curiosity, my motivation came back with a vengeance. He became my role model for education. Seeing him in front of a classroom speak on what he was passionate about made me envious. I wanted that for myself, yet it had always felt unattainable and unrealistic. But he made me realize it wasn't. That semester, I changed my major to English Studies, and I haven't looked back since. In my classroom, I hope to inspire young students who have that same love for literature, or even those students who don't. I want to inspire my students like my past teachers have. Thank you for listening to my reason for teaching.